Betty.
I woke up excited for the day. I don't know why. I have no reason to be. My 1-year-old was sick and kept me and my wife up most of last night. And I was like, good, it's Wednesday. Let's do this. And I'm like, why am I so excited for the day? I have zero idea why, but here we go. All right. What are we talking about this morning?
Well, I had a question if anybody's interested. I had an agent ask if I wanted to do an open house yesterday, and I said yes on Saturday from 1 to 4. And then last night I had another agent text me with another opportunity. And so I'm wondering if anybody is interested in an open house in Springville Saturday from 1 to 4.
If you live down that way, you should say yes.
Yeah, it's a decent listing. It's a duplex. Well, kind of a duplex. It's like a double home. I don't know what the twin home is, that what they call those?
Mhm.
Uh, but it's just the one half. It's around 600,000. If anybody's interested, I can send you the listing. It's a decent listing. It's in a good little pocket in Springville, kind of up on the bench side towards the mountains, near a bunch of parks, and it's a good area. So, and you can continue.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions? I have thoughts.
How would you shift your conversations, or how would you suggest we shift our conversations heading into the colder months? What are some golden one-liners we can use to kind of help inform people of how the market's headed, create a sense of urgency to buy now or look to sell now before things continue to slow?
I like that question. Okay, I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from all of you. What would you say to someone that says, I don't want to really sell right now because it's not the summer. We're going into the winter. I'll just wait till spring. Any ideas?
Well, I can tell you my only thought, but I'd love extra ideas. I have a client like that right now. And my only thought is, well, sometimes as a buyer, if we're on the buyer side, it can be more advantageous to buy during the colder months because sellers won't be selling as quickly. So they might be more like amenable, more willing to give concessions.
Good thought. A little more opportunity there. I read years ago that statistically the best time to close on a home to get the best deal is October. I don't know why, but that would mean you go under contract in September. So it might be all of those sellers that tried to sell in the summer that didn't get an offer, and now school starts and they're like, "Oh crap, we're going into the winter." So might be the time to find a deal. Um, do you know when the best time to sell a house is, by the way? Does anyone have an idea?
Sorry, I just had one more thought for what we
Yeah.
were talking about before. I would also say we have the market turning up better right now. We know what it looks like. It's a pretty good market. We don't know what the market's going to look like next year. So you don't want that uncertainty. Like it's already looking good right now. What's keeping you from selling?
Yes, I want to like high five you through the screen, Mariah. That is amazing. That is my answer. The very best time to sell a house is now, if you have a reason to sell now. There's not like a better time. Summer is not better than winter. You don't get more money in the summer than you do in the winter because you know what it's like. Now, as things get colder, are there fewer buyers? Yeah, but you know what? They're all serious. Did any of you guys go and see a house just because it was summertime and you're like, oh, let's go see a house? You know, Parade of Homes is literally in the summertime where you just go walk through houses and don't even think about buying them because they're all out of your league. Like people love to house shop, and when you have time and daylight, you just go shop. People will see extra homes because they can. If you're coming from home from work and it's 5:30 at night and you want to go see a couple houses, it is dark in the winter and you are only going to see the houses that you really like. So when you get a showing in the winter, it is more valuable than a showing in the summer. So it doesn't matter the time of year. There's no wrong time to sell a house. And like Mariah was saying, we know what the market's like today. What's going to happen if they cut rates 1/4% here coming in a little bit? Here in September, they've talked about maybe doing 1/4%. Do you know what that would mean for us? Absolutely nothing. Because right now, all of the lenders think that the Fed is going to cut rates by 1/4%. So they have already made adjustments. That's why rates are hanging around 6% rather than 6.5 like they used to be, or 6.25 like they were a couple weeks ago. They already made their adjustments, thinking that that was what the Fed does. If the Fed says 0.5%, then rates might come down a little bit more. If the Fed says we're staying the same, which could be a real thing, right? How many times this year has everyone been like, oh, they're going to lower rates now, things are better. And then they just keep chugging along just as normal. So we don't know what the future holds, but we know the right now. And most things in real estate are not permanent, right? You can improve your house, you can refinance your loan, you just can't move it. So if you're okay with the location as you're buying, then there's not a better or worse time to buy. Even if you would have bought at the very peak of the market, 2008 style, and then ridden the roller coaster where home values went down, you would have had to wait 4 years for home prices to get above where you bought. How long do average people live in a house? They say 5 years, but it's
7.
actually, and yeah, it used to be 7, but now that interest rates have gone up, so is the time in the house. So it waffles between like 7 to 10 years, but everyone says 5 years. That's what people tell you. I'll live here for 5 years. Well, you know what? If you buy in the worst, absolute worst time where real estate and lending caused our financial crisis and the biggest one since the 1920s, within 4 years, you were positive. It was 3 to get break even, 4th to get positive, so that way you can pay your real estate agents. Isn't that crazy to think about? If you're living in there for a decade, for sure you're good. So I always tell people, if you could live here for 5 years, we're good. So there's not a bad time to buy a house unless you're like, I need to sell in 1 year. Then you need to be like thinking about the market. Is the market going to go up, or can you hold it after you move out? Those kind of questions. But besides that, it's not a better or worse time to buy. It's just, what is your motivation? So that's the big thing to tap into people. What is their motivation? Why do you want to buy? Someone's like, yeah, I want to buy, I want to sell in the spring. The question shouldn't be why wait till spring. It should be, why do you want to sell? And then bring that to the now or to the sooner. I know people that love to list homes in December because everything looks great. You have your Christmas tree up, your lights, it looks so nice. Like if you were to compare December to January, December definitely looks better than January, but people don't typically think I'll list my home in December because they have all the Christmas going on. You know what? Your house shows really well when it's decorated for Christmas. Smells like pine cones and has all the decorations and everything. So I don't think you can go wrong listing your home at any time. And you can't go wrong buying because we don't know the future. Does anyone have more thoughts around that? Okay, so if someone says, oh, I kind of want to sell, but maybe I'll wait till the spring next year. What do you tell them?
Well, why do you want to sell?
Why do you want to sell? Let's figure out their motivation. And if that makes sense for their motivation to happen now, let's do it now. Oh, you know what? The school year just started. Your kids don't even like their classmates yet. They don't even have friends. Let's move. You know, you can come up with any excuse why now is better. But you're not going to sell them on it. Their motivation will sell them. So dial in their motivation. Okay. Today we have Ignite Win the Buyer with Amber Burke. If you have not done this, or if you have a bunch of buyers that you think you're going to be working with soon or have some, this is a great one to come to, especially as we're talking a lot about how commission changes are affecting buyers specifically. Amber is great at this, so this will be an awesome one for everyone. Then tomorrow for our team meeting, 9:30, we are going to, you know how Shoni said you should have like a menu of service and a value proposition for your buyers and sellers? That is what we are working on tomorrow. As a group, we're going to mastermind it, think through it, and put down on paper like what is our value proposition, so that when you say, hey, buyers, I charge 3%, they're going to be like, oh, thank goodness, I thought you were going to charge me more than that. That's the kind of reaction we want. So 9:30 tomorrow for that, 9:30 today for Ignite, and then we'll practice writing an offer tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Or is that when we do it? Yeah, 1 o'clock. Foundations training. We'll write a fake offer if you need help with that. So go crush it today. Go make those calls. We're calling P&L, so keep up with those. And I hope to see you all here shortly for Ignite. We'll chat soon. See ya.